Good evening from Kuala Lumpur. We are moments away from knowing who will win the Japan GBWC 2024. But I think it's actually more interesting to look at all the finalist entries up close and personal, which was what I managed to do a couple of weeks ago when I was at Gundam Base Tokyo. Now, the first entry for the over 21 category that caught my eye is this new Gundam Nine Tail. The overall design just looks amazing. It looks like something that comes out from a Hobby Japan cover feature kit. Pretty awesome. I don't know how the builder managed to kit bash so many different parts onto the new Gundam for the backpack, the beam rifle, the gun cannon as well. The overall design just seems to flow really well, not overly busy, but with the overall simple paint scheme, a little bit of weathering, it looks just like a official kit would be if Bandai ever decided to release something as bombastic as this. Now you can't probably tell from the scale, but it is actually a very big kit. Kind of reminds me of Ide Ng's winning entry from GBWC Hong Kong a couple of years ago. Definitely, I'm rooting for this guy to be in the top two, if not the champion for GBWC Japan in 2024. Now, I tried to cover as many entry as I possibly could in my short trip to Gundam Base Tokyo. In fact, I managed to cover every single over 21 category, but for the under 20 and under 14 category, I only managed to cover a few because, frankly speaking, this year's finalists for under 20 and also under 14 category were a little bit underwhelming. If you don't believe me, go and check out the link down below for all the finalists for Japan GBWC 2024. Now, the over 21 category, the other entry that really caught my eye was this Sengoku Gundam Flame. The entire build was quite interesting because the Sengoku Gundam Astray Gundam is actually in a very simple matte finish, but it actually has a red flame dragon behind him, which is in pure high metallic red finish, which is very fascinating, and that is one of the more interesting design in there. Now, this other category and entry was a interesting one because it's a very interesting kit bash of a supposedly marine underwater mobile suit. So the overall scheme of the design looks very interesting, but I just don't know why the builder did not give it a blue color scheme, which I thought would probably blend a lot better underwater, right? But overall, very simple, very clean, which is something that you tend to see from a lot of Japanese GBWC entries. For the last couple of years, we've been covering GBWC as well. You tend to see this recurring theme where the entries are quite clean, very technically, a lot of details, and also very clean paint job across as compared to other countries from what you've seen before. The other cool entry is actually this particular guy, the Doomsday Devil Gundam. It seems a little bit busy at first because the first thing that you see is the Devil Gundam itself. So you'll be focusing on that, but actually the true clear story is actually at the bottom of the base where you get to see all the heads, body parts of the defeated Gundams at the base. So that was actually the true cool part of this entire diorama submitted for this particular entry. Now, we have seen a lot of Devil Gundam entries for the over 21 category from a few countries over the years, but they never really get to place in the top three. So unfortunately, I don't think this particular kit will stand a chance to be in the top three placement, given how fierce is the competition in Japan. This other kit is actually something that's quite interesting. This is the Strike Gundam Spec 2. The overall design looks very simple, right? The Sea Gundam is standing up with a semi-gloss finish. And what was really interesting was actually the diorama itself, the three explosions as you can see from the base. So those were actually lighted up, and I think this is something that's actually very cool because Gundam Base Tokyo actually provides an actual power outlet for you to light up your entry if it has gimmicks like LEDs, as we can see from this particular base. So I hope more organizers around the world will provide that as well, because sometimes builders try to incorporate LEDs and lights into their entries, but you can't have the LEDs power up for 14 days if there is no power outlet, right? Now, the other quite interesting and very big entry indeed is this particular regeneration. The overall entry, it takes up the entire space of the display cabinet and it is huge. This particular entry not only has a lot of details going for it, everywhere I look, every angle I look, I discover something new. I discover a new kit bash, a new part, new scheme of painting. But what was interesting as well for this GNX or Jinx particular mobile suit design was that there were a lot of LED being incorporated into the arm, the hand, the torso, the head, and also the legs thrusters as well. So this particular kit entry was really really interesting. I think this guy will probably be placed in the top three, but will it win Japan GBWC 2024? I don't think so, unfortunately, because it doesn't really have that Gundam story tied to it. So this is something that judges tend to look for. Uh, yeah. So this is something that I think is the unfortunate part of the GBWC entries. You have to know what the judges are looking for in order to win. I hope I'm wrong, because to be very frank, this particular entry is really very, very bombastic. Now, the next entry is something that I've been seeing in almost every GBWC in different countries every single year, and that is a Zaku covering against a wall, covering against a damaged building, covering against a blasted house as what you're seeing here. So I really love this particular Zaku entry, but unfortunately, I think the judges has probably seen this particular style of entry way too many times. Since we started covering GWC about 6 years ago, I think almost every year you will see one particular entry, the similar style, similar design of a Zaku covering over across a building, a wall, whether it is in a high grade, master grade, and even a perfect grade. I've seen this particular build before, even in Malaysia. As much as I love the entire look and feel, how the diorama was created over a blasted building, I don't think it will be able to place in the top three. That's the unfortunate part, right? Now, the other big entry for the over 21 category is this particular guy, the 100 Years of Possibility 100 Forms. This particular kit, wow, again, this is one of those big bombastic entries. When you see it, you really have to spend like 15-20 minutes at each different angle to really understand what are the parts that this builder actually has incorporated into the particular build, and also how he actually has managed to paint every single part of it individually and separately as well. As much as I like this particular entry, I don't think that it is a little bit too busy, unfortunately. So, not knowing what you guys think, why don't you guys let me know if you think that this is a little bit too busy, or do you think that the design actually flows very, very well? Now, the next finalist for the over 21 category was a surprise to me. It looks very interesting because it has all the armor separated on a separate plane. On the top plane, you have the two mobile suit for the Goof and also the RX-78. I'm not sure why this is one of the finalists for over 21 category. It seems a little bit too simple with the diorama. Yeah, I mean, it has very nice weathering, but overall, I'm not sure why this was listed as a finalist. And finally, for the last over 21 category finalist is the Kukuru's Dawn Island Battle. This particular kit, two Zakus fighting over, leaping over the sand dune, but the overall diorama is actually quite nice. So that actually has it going for it. These are two HG. But what was interesting was actually below the display case itself, as you can see here, where you can see the remnants of a defeated mobile suit underneath. So it was a very interesting concept that I have not seen before. So hopefully this guy will place at least in the top three. Very interesting concept indeed. For the over 20 category, I only managed to capture three that really caught my eye because number one, time was really not on my side. For those of you who have been to Gundam Base Tokyo, you will know that if you go in early, there's always a freaking long line to get in. You have to line up, get a ticket, and when you do actually get in, you have to fight with a lot of the crowd who are busy trying to snap as many photos as they can. They're trying to get exclusive kits as well. So we have to actually battle with that crowd, and also at the same time trying to look at every single entry, and also at the same time trying to film every single finalist, which we think is the ones that are going to win for the under 20 category. So which is a little bit disappointing, to be frank. This year under 20 category was really underwhelming, and I don't know why this year there are so many Sazabis listed as a finalist. This is something that I don't think I've seen that many of them before, but it's probably gonna be one of the top three from what I've listed just now. I think the under 20 category for his role, the first entry they said just now, will probably be the champion for the under 20 category. For the under 14 category, yeah, this year is also very underwhelming, but there were some really bombastic category entries, such as this one where you can see the new Gundam, right? Getting is succession plan from the RX 78 Yokohama. So this is the Fukuoka New Gundam on to the next unit. Very interesting concept. So this is one of the finalists that I managed to snap a photo of. And I think the champion for the under 14 category is probably gonna be the Master Grade Sazabi. That's what you're gonna see here. Very nice simple weathering, but overall very clean build for a under 14 builder. Now, one of the things that I really like about Gundam Base Tokyo, the way they display the entries for every single finalist, the lights are superb, not too bright, just nice, especially for us content creators who are trying to snap photos and videos as well. But the other thing is, every single display case is so clean, free of fingerprint smudges, unlike the other GBWCs that we have seen before, where a lot of public viewers, when they look at the entries, they like to point their fingers at the display case. So yeah, thank you to the Gundam Base Tokyo team for allowing me to film and also keeping the display case clean. So what are my predictions? Well, I only have really two predictions actually. The first one will be the Nine Tails New Gundam. I think this is going to be the champion. Hopefully I'm not wrong. So definitely very simple, clean build. Really love the overall design and the Gundamness of it. So this is probably my champion pick for tomorrow when the announcement is going to come out. And for number two, well, I think it's probably going to be the regeneration as well. So those are my top two picks for the over 21 category. Unfortunately, this year the under 20 and also the under 14 category is a little bit underwhelming. So yeah, I think this year Japan finalist is a little bit underwhelming. So hopefully next year, 2025, will be a better year for Japan. Okay, so those are my top picks. Let me know what you think of the entries or the finalists that you are seeing here. I think definitely looking at these videos and photos up close is a lot better compared to the low resolution of photos and videos that Bandai posts on their GBWC site. Okay, till then, thank you guys for watching. I have a lot more content coming up from Japan, so do stay tuned and subscribe if you're new to our channel. Thank you, and I'll see you guys soon.